4. University Life. Listening activity number 1. Choosing subjects. You will hear a conversation on choosing subjects. Listen to the conversation and choose the correct answer. Hi, Kent. Come in. Have you decided on your subjects?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions first and see what we can do. What were your best subjects in high school?
My best subjects were maths and science, and I also like history.
Are you more interested in science or arts?
Oh, definitely science.
Okay, Kent, your grades are all pretty good. What do you think your strengths are? And which types of subjects interest you most now?
Well, I really enjoy science. I'm good at maths and business studies.
Okay, and your weaknesses?
French and music, those kinds of subjects.
Well, if you like science and are good at maths and business studies, maybe computers are something that you want to look into.
Computer science?
Yes. Have you ever thought about being a computer programmer?
No.
You see, computer science is a very popular subject in our university, and you will have a really good chance of getting a job after graduation. Have you thought about working for a big software company?
No. I'd prefer to work for a smaller company first, but I like that idea.
Good. So, Kent, have you decided on your subjects?
Yes, I think so. I will take computer science.
Good. You can register for your courses tomorrow.
Okay. Could you tell me where the registration office is?
In room 309 in the administration building, and you should pay tuition fees in room 339 of the office building.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck. Listening activity number 2. A tour of the library. You will hear a talk to introduce a university library. Listen to the talk and indicate the locations of the different sections of the library and choose the correct answer. Welcome to the University Library. This tour is a practical introduction to the library. It will take you to locations of service and materials. A brief explanation of the library structure is helpful before you begin your tour. The library occupies 6 floors of the 10-story main building. This tour will cover floors 1 to 6, including general information and services. Our tour will start on the 1st floor. There are no book collections on this floor. You will find the Resource Centre for Disabled Users and loans and returns. This means that you check out and return all books on this floor. On floors 2 and 3, you will find the Social Sciences and Humanities collections. You will also find the multimedia materials and the newspaper collection on floor 3. On the next floor, that's floor 4, we have the Physical Science Library. However, you should note that this does not include the Biomedical Library collection, which is located on floor 5. You will find the Education and Law collections on the 6th floor. Please pay attention to the many signs throughout the library which give additional guidance. Pick up the blue Finding Items in the Library leaflet from the information desk if you do not have one already. This will assist you in understanding how material is arranged as you proceed on this tour. Please note that eating, drinking and smoking are not allowed anywhere in the library building. Telephones are on the first floor of the building, and the women's toilets are on even-numbered floors, and the men's toilets are on the odd-numbered floors near the lift. Wheelchair access toilets are on levels 1 and 2. Now, let's walk to the social sciences and humanities collections. As you proceed on this tour, the special services will be explained to you in detail as you pass through each floor. Listening activity number 3. Computer Center. You are going to hear a conversation between a student and a tutor. Listen to the conversation and fill in the form.
Hello, can I help you?
Yes, I'm Anne Maria. I've just enrolled in a part-time economic course. I'd like to talk to someone about computers.
Right. I'm one of the staff here, so I should be able to help you.
Oh, good. Is there access to computers?
Yes, there is a big computer center where you can use computers.
Oh, where is it?
It's just behind the administration building in Building G.
Behind the administration building in Building G. Okay. When is it open?
It's open from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. on weekdays and from 9:30 to 5:30 on Saturdays and Sundays.
I see. I think I'll regularly go to the computer center and get to know how to use them, rather than going just before exams and essay deadlines. In this way, I can guarantee that I get access to a computer and will not have any problem completing my work.
That's good thinking. Well, we hold some training sessions there for the new students, which you may be interested.
Yes, when are they?
They are held on a regular basis on the first week of each month and are free to full-time students of the university.
That's good. How about part-time students?
I'm afraid they have to pay some money for the training sessions.
How much is it?
$15 for each session.
That's reasonable. By the way, can I borrow a laptop to use in my home or workplace?
I'm afraid not.
I see. Never mind. I will buy one later. Where shall I pay for the training sessions?
In the computer center.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Listening activity number 4. Being a good learner. You will hear a talk about how to become a good learner. Listen carefully, complete the statements, and indicate whether the following statements are true or false. Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Sophie from the Students' Union. Today, I'd like to talk about becoming a good learner. When you attend a college, you want to succeed. You must keep in mind that learning is a complicated process. You should be aware of good study habits, and putting them into practice is a crucial factor in the determination of your success. Every college student should aim to become a conscious, independent learner. Exactly what does this mean to you? And how do you go about achieving this ideal state? Quite simply, it means that you are in control of actively planning your learning situation. You can take marvelous notes, read your handouts, and attend every lecture, but all of this will amount to very little unless you become an organized student. You will benefit greatly from following these steps. First, you should set yourself a definite task or goal before each session. You have to set yourself a realistic goal for each period. Then your study time will be productive. You could study in periods of between 40 to 60 minutes. After each period of study, have a short break in which you do something you enjoy. For example, watch TV or listen to some music. Next, you must review what you've learned. You should repeat points aloud, make notes, highlight important points, and summarize main ideas and concentrate on your goals. After that, you should spend the last few minutes of your study time trying to recall the main issues of the topic. This recall is very important and needs to be repeated at later sessions. Last, try to overlearn your material. Even if you feel sure you know everything you need to know about a topic and you can recall this knowledge, continue to go over and over and over it in subsequent sessions. If you follow these steps, you can be a good and confident student. Now, I leave a few minutes for your questions. Listening activity number 5. Health insurance in the US. You are going to hear a talk about health insurance in the US. Listen to the talk, complete the statements, and then indicate if the following statements are true or false.
We talked last week about the costs of higher education for students who want to study in the United States. Today, as our Foreign Student series continues, we discuss a cost that students may not always consider: health insurance. Medical care can be very costly if a person has an accident or gets sick. Health insurance might pay for most or all of it. Students might already be covered under their parents' health plan. If not, many schools offer plans of their own. Most American colleges and universities have student health centers. Some have hospitals where students can go for more serious problems. Our example this week is the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. It has more than 4,600 international students this year. All University of Michigan students pay a health service fee. This fee is included in the cost of tuition at the school. It pays for some kinds of medical care and examinations through the University Health Service. It also pays for health education, physical therapy, x-rays, and most laboratory tests. But the health service fee does not pay for everything. For example, it does not pay for medicines or eyeglasses or routine eye exams. It also does not pay for hospital care. University officials say international students are required to have health insurance. The University of Michigan offers its students a choice of plans. One is especially for international students. This plan is designed to pay for medical care in emergencies. It does not pay for things like dental care, and it generally does not pay for treatment of conditions that existed before the student arrived at school. Students can also buy private insurance policies from independent companies, but the university must first approve them. Whatever the plan, schools want to know that all of their students can pay for their health care needs. Our series on higher education in the United States continues next week with a report on financial aid. That is all for today. Thank you.
Listening activity number 6. Understanding the lectures. You are going to listen to a talk about how to understand lectures. Listen to the talk, complete the statements, and then indicate whether the following statements are true or false.
Do you have difficulty listening to lectures and deciding what is important enough to write in your notes? Do you become distracted and get lost during most lectures? Because most exams and class activities are based on information presented in lectures, your abilities to listen and take notes are closely linked to how well you will do in a course. It's important to improve or develop listening and note-taking skills that will enable you to gain as much from lectures as you do from other instructional modes. You need to realize that lecturers do not always structure the flow of information in their lectures. Some lecturers have only a vague idea of where they will actually be at the end of their session. Other lecturers order the flow of information so that there is a clear beginning, middle, and end to each lecture, and you go away knowing what you have learned. Despite the differences in lecturing styles, you can still learn to listen for information and ignore the irrelevant pieces or the bits that you already know. You should pre-read for lectures. This will make it easier for you to pick out important points and additional information. You should find out the title of the topic and predict what the lecture is covering. In the lecture, you should try to follow the lecturer's main points, digest them carefully, listen for key terms and their synonyms. You need to focus on the repetition and rephrasing of information. Watch the information contained in overhead projector transparencies, slides, and films, as they are often valuable sources of information. Many examples are used to illustrate the main point of the lecture. You should try to jot down at least one. Rely on the visual information and use the lecturer's commentary to fill in the details. Be accurate when you copy work from the blackboard, slides, and transparencies. You can try several different ways to understand the lecture. You can listen for voice changes. Lecturers will display some feelings about their subjects. The voice may become higher in pitch when the lecturers are excited by their topics. You can listen for these clues and judge whether you should know the content of the lecture in detail. Body language is a useful clue to the relative importance of content.
Listening activity number 7. Becoming a confident student. You are going to hear a talk on how to become a confident student. Listen to the talk and complete the statements.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about how to become a confident student. When you attend a college or a university, you would like to be a successful student. I'd say knowing why you are attending college and learning to set goals and knowing how to solve problems will help you become a more confident student. There are many reasons for attending college. It is important that the reasons you identify be your own and that you use them to motivate yourself. A goal is an outcome, the result of a plan, something you want and are willing to work for. Your goals may be personal, academic, or work-related. Long-term goals take some time to accomplish and may include such things as graduation from college or a change in career. Short-term goals are intermediate steps between the initiation of a plan and its outcome, the achievement of a long-term goal. For example, when you have successfully completed a course, you have achieved a short-term goal that will help you reach the long-term goal of graduating from college. Your success will be greatest if your goals are reachable. Reachable goals are realistic, believable, and possible. They are also measurable, flexible, controllable, and ethical. A realistic goal is one you can reasonably expect to achieve given your abilities. A goal is believable and possible if you know what it will take to reach it and where to begin and end. For example, it is possible to complete a Bachelor of Arts program in 4 years, perhaps even in 3 years. But a goal of completing the program in 1 year would be both unbelievable and impossible. To set measurable goals, give yourself a time limit. Keep your goals flexible and controllable by deciding what you want to do and by being willing to change your plans if necessary. As you continue your college education, you will encounter some difficulties. You can successfully overcome these problems and meet your goals if you consistently use a problem-solving approach, such as the COPE method. COPE is a 4-step plan that starts with a challenge or problem, its causes, and a result. The second step is to think of options or possible solutions to your problem. Third, make a plan to act on one or more of your options. Finally, make an evaluation of your plan after you have given it sufficient time to work. Then, revise your plan as needed.
Listening activity number 8. U.S. universities to expand financial aid. You will hear a conversation about financial aid. Listen to the conversation, complete the statements, and then answer the questions.
Hey, Deborah, have you heard today's news?
What is it?
Harvard University has made a decision recently to expand financial aid.
Oh, really? This will put pressure on other schools to do the same. And how much does Harvard usually give for 1 year?
The full price for 1 year at Harvard in Cambridge, Massachusetts is more than $45,000.
Well, I think many other private colleges cost just as much.
Yes, but Harvard is much wealthier than any other American university, so it has more to give.
Well, that's true.
Harvard already offers a free education to students from families that earn up to $60,000 a year. This has helped increase the numbers of lower income and minority students.
Sounds good.
You know, the aim is to help all but the wealthiest American families pay for a Harvard education. The new policies announced last month will assist families that earn as much as $180,000. These families will be asked to pay no more than 10% of their income for college.
Sorry, I'm not with you. Could you give me an example?
Yes, for example, a family earning $120,000 would pay about $12,000 a year. Under existing student aid policies, the amount is more than $19,000. What Harvard has done is to change the way it offers financial aid. Undergraduates will not be expected to take out loans. Increases in grant aid will replace loans.
I see.
And also, Harvard officials will no longer consider the value of a family's home when deciding how much aid to give. Harvard says it expects to spend up to $22 million more a year in financial aid. This will come from its endowment.
What is the endowment?
The college endowment is money given by former students and others as gifts. Schools invest the money to earn more. Harvard's endowment is valued at $35 billion.
Wow, that's quite a lot of money.
Yes. You know, other universities with large endowments are also changing their financial aid policies. Examples include Yale, Princeton, and the University of Pennsylvania.
I wonder how much is Yale's endowment?
Yale's endowment is the second largest after Harvard, at $22.5 billion. This week, Yale in New Haven, Connecticut, announced it will use more of that money for financial aid as well as scientific research. Yale may also admit more students.
That's good news, isn't it? I hope more private universities will do the same.
I hope so. But some colleges say they simply do not have enough money to compete with the new policies that are being announced.
Listening activity number 9. Giving a good tutorial. You will hear a talk about tutorials. Listen to the talk and complete the statements and then indicate whether the following statements are true or false.
A tutorial is where most of the learning occurs at a university. You will be divided into groups of between 4 to 15 students under the leadership of a tutor who may be a graduate in your department. Tutorials run on the assumption that students learn by getting the basic information at the lectures, doing follow-up reading on their own, and then discussing what they have read and asking questions in a tutorial. Every student has an obligation to the group to do the recommended reading before the tutorial, so that the discussion can be lively and challenging. But not all students do the recommended reading, and the tutorial group can get a reputation for being boring and passive. You should not put yourself in a position where you become labeled as a lazy student. You should always do some reading, even if you only manage to look at one of the texts. Tutorial discussions are usually based on an assignment topic, which is researched by one or more students. You will be given a list of tutorial topics at the beginning of the semester or term, and you can usually choose your own. If you are attending higher education for the first time, you should pick a topic that interests you and has clear boundaries, as these are the easiest to research. Theoretical topics are often harder to research, as there are so many theoretical stances to choose from, and you can get stuck in sorting out opinions instead of getting your topic together. You could take a theoretical topic for your second tutorial, after you have learned the basic skills of giving a presentation. If you are giving the tutorial, you should be prepared to answer any tricky questions you are asked. It is better to over-prepare than be left feeling stupid. You could be asked to give your tutorial and hand in your assignment paper on the same day, or you could be given time to rework your paper before handing it in. Whatever the case, you should always hand your work in on time. Some institutions actually award marks for students' performances at tutorials. Make sure you find out if you have to attend, sign a roll, complete weekly exercises, contribute to discussions, and give a paper. If you are struggling to pass, you are likely to be given the benefit of the doubt if your tutor can remember what you look like, and if you often spoke up and regularly attended.
Listening activity number 10. Welcome to our school. You will hear a speech by a principal to welcome new students. Listen to the talk, choose the correct answer, and then complete the statements. Good morning everybody, and welcome to our school. We hope you will enjoy your summer course here with us for the month of July. And I know some of you are going to stay here for 2 courses until the end of August. I hope this gives you plenty of time to explore the surrounding countryside and visit the many typical English country pubs we're lucky to have in this area. For those of you who are here for 1 course, please come to us for advice on which are the best places to visit, and you will really benefit from your month's stay here. There are 12 teachers who work here in the summer, and of course the office staff also. At the end of the day, you will know who your class teacher is, so I won't introduce them all individually now. Well, before you go on your sightseeing tour of the area, I would like to say a few things about the school. It has been open for 20 years, and during that time thousands of students have passed through our hands. The school itself consists of 14 classrooms, a small study centre, and a recently installed computer room, which has proved to be very popular. The teacher's room is on the 1st floor and is open to you at all times, and my office is next to it. The building opens at 9 o'clock in the morning, so you'll have time to do your homework in the study centre before classes begin if you were out late the night before. It also stays open until 6 in the evening, so you're welcome to use any of the facilities after the classes. Classes finish at 4. As well as your classes here, there is a wide range of social activities that you can participate in if you like. This involves such things as horse riding, swimming, and visits to local pubs in the evenings, and day or weekend excursions to places of interest in and around this area. So if you fancy walking or visiting the local mines, keep your eye on the social activities notice board. Our social secretary is John here, and he will be coming around to your classrooms to let you know what exactly is on offer this month. It is our policy to make your stay here as enjoyable as possible, and because of this, we strongly believe in an active social program for our students. Finally, on a more serious note, please remember that in the community you represent the school. Over the years, we have kept in close contact with many local groups and societies, and some of our students have joined them for the period of their stay here with us. We would like to maintain this close relationship with local organizations so that our students can have the opportunity to see inside the life of a small community. So keep this in mind when you're out and about, please. And let me just say once more, welcome to the school and to England. Listening activity number 11. Test anxiety. You are going to hear a conversation between a counselor and a student. Listen to the conversation, complete the statements, and then answer the questions.
Hello, can I come in?
Oh, yes. Come in, Maria. You look tired. How can I help you?
I've got a headache and I've got some trouble sleeping during the night recently.
Oh, have you seen a doctor?
Yes, he said that I have some test anxiety and asked me to come and see you. What is test anxiety?
Well, test anxiety is the stress that is related to a testing situation. It may be caused by your inability to cope with the expectations of important people in your life, or feelings of helplessness resulting from past failures. Are you worrying about anything recently?
Yes, I worry about the final test next week. I often think about my midterm test failure, and I may do poorly on the final test. Whenever I think about this, I feel helpless and sleepless.
I see. You do have some test anxiety. When you have test anxiety, you may suffer from physical symptoms such as headaches and mental symptoms such as a lack of confidence and negative thoughts and feelings.
What could I do? How can I reduce test anxiety?
Well, most test anxiety is the result of irrational fears. The only real cause for fear is insufficient preparation for a test. So being prepared for tests and feeling confident about your abilities may reduce some of your anxiety. Or you may need to develop coping strategies such as learning to relax and programming yourself for success by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones.
Yes, any suggestions?
Sufficient preparation for a test is very important. It involves 3 steps. First, make a study schedule that allows time for daily, weekly, and exam reviews for each course. Next, decide what topics or specific information to study by reviewing your lecture notes, textbook notes, and study guides, previous tests, papers, and instructors' handouts.
Okay, I'll try them.
Finally, have an efficient study routine. To improve your grades on tests, develop a test-taking routine that includes these steps: arrive on time, jot down memory cues, survey the test, plan and use all your time, read directions, do easy questions first, skip and return to difficult questions. Guess if there is no clue, control your feelings and attention, check your work, and learn from your mistakes.
So I need to go over my past homework and learn from my mistakes?
Yes, that's one way to reduce your test anxiety. You should have confidence and believe that you can pass examinations after sufficient preparation. You also need to relax yourself in a classroom when you prepare to take a test. Try the following simple but effective exercises. No one will know you are doing them. Take a deep breath and drop your shoulders. Put your hands on your lap and clench your fists to feel the tension. Slowly open your hands and let them drop down at your sides, letting go of the tension.
I'll do that. Thank you very much for your help.
Come in anytime. Good luck.
Bye.
Listening activity number 12. How to sail through student life in the UK. You are going to hear a conversation on tips for foreign students in the UK. Listen to the conversation, choose the correct answer, complete the statements, and then answer the questions.
Starting university is a daunting prospect for many students. But what if you have the additional burden of moving to a new country to undertake your studies? Today, you are going to hear two students give their tips for foreign students in the UK. One is Mike Smith, a British second year at Cambridge University, and the other is Ellen Parker, an Italian who has just completed a master's at Oxford University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ellen. From the moment you step on UK soil, a question will follow you. Are you all right? People ask it of you all the time. At the beginning you wonder, do they really want to know, or is it just them being polite? Just learn the code. I'm fine, and you? Will always do. If variation is needed, you should know that the response, not too bad, often conveys a fairly negative state of mind. Keep so-so for the worst day in your life. No matter how bad a meal, a film, or a club was, you will never hear a British person say so unless you are pretty close to them. For your own sake, remember this key point. People are indirect in the UK. Your essay was a disaster? Your tutor will have found it very interesting, but...
The high cost of living in Britain means that budgeting will inevitably be at the forefront of your thoughts while studying. But it needn't constrain your university life. There are loads of shopping and travel discounts for students. You'll find numerous clothing shops that give you at least 10% off if you show them your university card, while the young person's rail card can halve train prices and make your journeys more flexible. If you pay the £10 required for an NUS, National Union of Students, you'll find an enormous range of discounts at everything from a hairdresser's to football matches that apply not just in Britain, but across the world.
Living in the UK does not require you to be a gourmet chef, but being able to cook a variety of meals brings plenty of benefits. Even in the richer universities, the quality of food in halls is distinctly variable and can be much costlier than purchasing your own produce in markets or the supermarket. Knowing how to prepare the dishes that you enjoy at home will make adapting to British life much easier, and you can wow your mates with tastes from your home country. Although it might seem like a long way in the future, it is worth considering your accommodation for the later years of your course during your first few terms.
Yes, most British universities only provide undergraduate accommodation for the first year, and if you're going to move into a flat or house with other students, look at the boards put up in university and also on the internet. It is worthwhile trying to decide exactly who you would like to live with and organizing it as soon as you can.
At weekends, British students go crazy. It's hardly unknown that boys here can drink a lot. And as for the girls, you will have to see them to believe. Shouting and making a scene in clubs is a more widely practiced sport than football.
On making friends, a trap that some international students seem to fall into is making friends almost exclusively with students from their own part of the world and shying away from their UK counterparts. The traditional centres of social life in the UK, like pubs or sports teams, are often the easiest places to relax while at university.
Don't be suspicious of your fellow British students. They are nice, friendly people. Some will warm to you slowly, but you'll eventually find that the vast majority of students are extremely friendly and open-minded. They will always have the patience to explain to you what that word means, and some friends will even find the time to read through your essay if you ask them. And you'll be surprised to see how eager they are to taste that typical meal from your particular region in your particular part of the world, and to watch that foreign movie you've brought with you.